Hey there, fellow flag enthusiasts. Today we're diving into the world of flags that look almost identical. You know, the ones that make you do a double take and ask, wait, is that Chad or Romania? We're going to explore the surprisingly subtle differences between some of these vexillological doppelgangers, uncover their historical connections, and maybe, just maybe, learn a thing or two about geography and international relations along the way. Because flags aren't just colorful pieces of fabric. They're symbols imbued with history, culture, and national pride. They represent stories of independence, revolution, and shared values. So grab your magnifying glasses, folks. We're about to embark on a journey to decipher the curious case of the world's most confusing flags. Let's get started. First up, we have the dynamic duo of Chad and Romania. These two flags are about as similar as siblings separated at birth, both sporting vertical stripes of blue, yellow, and red. At a glance, you'd be forgiven for mixing them up, but look closer and a subtle yet crucial difference emerges. The shade of blue, Romania's blue, leans towards a cobalt, a slightly brighter, more vibrant hue. Chad's blue, on the other hand, is a touch darker, closer to indigo. Now, this might seem like a minor detail, but in the world of flags, every shade, every hue has a meaning. And the reason for this difference? Well, it's a bit of a mystery. Some speculate it's due to the dyes available at the time of their adoptions, while others posit it's a deliberate distinction to avoid confusion on the international stage. Whatever the reason, it's a reminder that even the smallest details can hold fascinating historical significance. Next, we travel from the heart of Africa to the shores of Southeast Asia and Europe, where we encounter another pair of flag bearers with an uncanny resemblance, Indonesia and Monaco. Both flags proudly display two horizontal bands of red and white, simple yet striking. Now you might be thinking, hold on, didn't Indonesia adopt its flag first? And you'd be absolutely right. The Indonesian flag, known as Sang Saka Merah Putih, predates Monaco's by over a century. So, what's the deal? Well, it's a classic case of great minds think alike, or perhaps great flags inspire. Monaco, in choosing its own banner, opted for a design that, while visually similar to Indonesia's, holds its own unique significance in Monegasque history, representing the ruling Grimaldi family. Chapter 3, Norway and Iceland, a Nordic cross to bear. Our Scandinavian journey takes us to the icy landscapes of Norway and Iceland, two nations with a shared Viking heritage and, unsurprisingly, very similar flags. Both proudly display the iconic Nordic cross, a symbol deeply rooted in Scandinavian history and Christianity. Both feature a vibrant crimson field, bisected by a white cross, itself outlined in blue. However, look closely and a subtle difference emerges in the proportions of the cross itself. Norway's cross is slightly thinner, with the blue outline extending closer to the edges of the flag. Iceland's cross, on the other hand, is a tad broader with more white space between the blue outline and the red field. This subtle difference, while hardly noticeable at first glance, speaks volumes about each nation's independent identity and unique historical path. Chapter 4, Australia and New Zealand. Stars down underward and a little to the right. Let's hop over to the southern hemisphere where we encounter another pair of flag twins, Australia and New Zealand. Both flags sport a dark blue background, a nod to their shared history as British colonies, with the Union Jack prominently displayed in the canton, the upper left corner. And of course, no Southern Cross flag would be complete without, well, the Southern Cross, a constellation visible only in the southern hemisphere. But here's where the subtle differences come into play. Australia's Southern Cross features 5 white stars, 4 7-pointed stars, and 1 smaller 5-pointed star, representing the states and territories of the Commonwealth. New Zealand, on the other hand, keeps things simple with just 4 red stars outlined in white, representing the 4 main islands that make up the nation. Chapter 5, Ireland and Ivory Coast. A colourful conundrum. Our final stop takes us back across the globe to examine the flags of Ireland and Ivory Coast. At first glance, you might think these flags are identical triplets with their vertical stripes of green, white and orange. But hold your horses, flag aficionados, because there's a twist. While the colours are the same, Their arrangement is where the distinction lies. Ireland, ever the rebel, proudly displays its green stripe closest to the flagpole, followed by white and finally orange. Ivory Coast, on the other hand, flips the script, placing orange closest to the hoist, followed by white and then green. Why the difference? Well, some speculate it's a deliberate attempt by Ivory Coast to differentiate itself from its European counterpart, while others posit it's simply a matter of aesthetic preference. So many flags, so little time? And there you have it, fellow flag fanatics, a whirlwind tour of some of the world's most confusing flags. From the subtle shade differences of Chad and Romania to the flipped arrangements of Ireland and Ivory Coast, we've uncovered the fascinating stories and historical nuances hidden within these seemingly identical banners. Remember, flags are more than just colorful pieces of fabric. They're visual representations of a nation's history, culture, and values. So the next time you're staring at a sea of flags, take a moment to appreciate the subtle details, the historical echoes, and the stories they tell. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating flag facts.